Hi friends, welcome back to the Art Room with Mrs. Nolte. So glad that you could join us today. We have a special project for you during your vacation break. In your take-home packets, you should have received a packet that looks like this that has some yarn attached to it. This is our Kumihimo project. This is a little weaving project that I thought would be fun to take home, and I've provided you with some yarn to do the project. There is a step-by-step video here that's going to take you through the whole process. So I hope everybody has a fabulous winter break, and I hope that you enjoy our Kumihimo project, and I can't wait to see what you've done, so you can share some pictures or videos with me on either Google Classroom or your Seesaw account. So take a look for your Kumihimo. The video is on my YouTube channel under Tammy Nolte. So check out the video, and here we go. Nolte, for today's project, we're going to be working on a Kumihimo bracelet. The supplies that you'll need would be the packet that I sent home. It has an instruction sheet with a template to make a Kumihimo loom and a bag with some yarn. From home, you're going to need some scissors, a black marker or a pencil, some tape, and some type of cardboard. So I'm using a box from like a food box. This is a chipboard box. Cereal boxes are great. This is a wonderful material to make a loom of. So I cut a piece off of my box like this. I don't need the extra. I just need enough so that my template will fit on the box. We are going to cut the loom template out of our paper, and I'm going to put the yarn aside for right now. So I have my loom, and I have a piece of cardboard here that I'm going to use. I'm going to use the brown side. We want to cut around the loom so that we have a circle. We're going to trace this onto our cardboard. You can do it a couple ways. You can put it down and just hold it with your hand and trace around it. Or if you need something to help make it not slide on you, you can take a little piece of tape, put the tape on the back, and then put it down on the cardboard. And I'm lucky, this one just fits. And I did not plan that. That was lucky. So I'm going to carefully trace around my cardboard. Now we're going to cut around the circle very carefully. Okay. And I want to try to keep this as round as I can because it'll make it easier when we go to do the weaving. Okay, great. So we're going to make some little slits on this so that we have the lines for our loom. So I'm going to put this back on. Okay. And for each one of these, I am going to cut a little slit. So I'm going to take my scissors, and I don't want to cut any longer than what we have on the template. Okay. We want to be careful here not to cut it too far into the middle. It'll fall apart on us. There we go. And then I need to pop a hole in the middle. And this is where you may need to have a parent or somebody help you, because getting that hole in that center might be a little tricky. I'm going to do it with a push pin. I want to get the hole started, because we need a little hole here. And this is, you guys need to have somebody help you so you don't hurt yourself. And see, that's just a little hole. Okay. Great. So I'm going to take off this. I don't need it. Okay. Great. So this is going to be my loom. I'm going to put my loom to the side. We want 7 strands of yarn. So I pre-cut these for everybody. They should be pretty much even, and I'm going to pick out 7 strands. I'm going to do rainbow order. You have enough here to make 2 Kumihimo bracelets. So if you have a friend or a sibling that wants to make one too, they can. So what I'm going to do is, let's see if you can see this on the string. I folded this long yarn in half, and then where I folded it, it's equal. So notice the ends are equal. I'm going to trim this, and this is only because I did make them very long so that you had enough to make a second one. And I'm going to take my 7 strands, and I'm going to count them again because it's really super important that you have 7. Oh, this won't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. At the end, we want to make sure that they're all lined up and they're nice and straight. So they're all lined up and the ends are all even. Okay? At the end, we are going to tie a knot. So to tie the knot, we're going to make a U shape. Bring it on over so it looks like an O. Take these ends, come around, and then back through the hole. Just like that. And then we're going to pull these together. And then you're going to have a nice little knot. Once you have your knot, we're going to come to our loom now. I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger. So I put my scissors in the middle and kind of spin them so that the hole's a little bit bigger. I'm going to pop the knot. I'm going to use the side that doesn't have the printing on it. I'm going to pop the knot into the hole so that I can see the knot on the other side. See the knot? And then my little tug. So that all my strands are on the side that's not printed, and my knot is on the side that has the printed cardboard. I am going to put 1 strand in each of these little notches, and I'm going to do mine in rainbow order again. So I'm going to go red and pop that in, and then orange, pop that in, yellow, pop it in, and violet. Oh my goodness, look at, I have 1 with no yarn. Why do you think that is? For my friends who have done this before, we know that that's going to be the receiving notch. That's where the yarn is going to go to. So on our instructions, we just lined up 7 strands of yarn, all equal length, and we tied a knot at one end. We pushed the knot through the center of the hole, and we placed 1 strand of yarn in each slit until there's 1 empty space. I always say that this is 12 o'clock. If you hold it this way, you can say it's facing the ceiling. You always want to leave your empty notch facing up or facing 12 o'clock, like if this was a clock dial. We are going to add the 3rd string is always going to go to the 12 o'clock. It's always going to go to the empty one. So my 3rd string, and this repeats always, there's no change on this, for this is a simple Kumihimo. So 1, strand 2, and strand 3. We'll take the yarn, we'll pop it out, and we're going to move it to the empty one. Now we're going to turn the loom so that the empty notch is facing 12 o'clock or the ceiling. We're going to count again. 1, I'm going to start at the empty. 1, 2, 3rd string comes out of the loom and goes into the empty spot. Great. I'm going to turn my loom again. Empty notch to the ceiling or to 12 o'clock. From there, we count strings. 1 string, 2 string, 3 strings. Pop into the empty spot. Turn it again. Now, as I'm going, every once in a while, I'm going to go and run my fingers through my yarn at the back. I want it to look like a jellyfish, because if it gets really tangly, it's really tough to untangle it. So every once in a while, give it a little jiggle like a jelly. Awesome. Okay, empty one, 12 o'clock or the ceiling. From there, 1 string, 2 strings, 3 strings, pop into the empty spot. Turn our wheel, empty spot, 1, 2 string, 3 strings, out into the empty slot. All right, friends, so look, by the magic of TV, look at how long my weaving came. So I've actually been working on this afternoon after I finished class, and I got quite a bit done. So we're going to finish off. I want to show you quickly how to tie this off. I'm going to do a couple more rotations. Make sure that the empty ones at the top, count back 3 strings, put the 3rd string into the empty space, rotate your loom, 3rd one into the empty space. Make sure that the empty notch is at the top or facing the ceiling or away from you or at the 12 o'clock. So 1, 2, 3, and into the empty spot. And every once in a while, give it a tug from behind so that the hole gets pulled. Great. All right, friends, so now we're going to remove the Kumihimo from the loom and tie it off. So you're going to very carefully pop each of the strands off of the different slits here, each of these spaces. I'm just going to pop them off very gently. Grab the thread, the yarn, and then you're going to pull it off the loom. Slide that loom right off that end. Great. So there is my weaving. I love the pattern I created because I used this rainbow order. It looks pretty good. I need to tie a knot at the end of this yarn. So we're going to make a U shape with the yarn on the end that we need to put the knot. I'm then going to cross the extra yarn over the weaving so it looks like an O. These strands right here, I'm going to kind of organize them, and I'm going to gently pull them through the hole. So it's going to go underneath the weaving and up through the hole. That's going to create a knot. Now I'm going to gently start to pull it, but I want my knot to be closer to where the weaving is. So if you don't pull real hard, you can kind of slide it down a little bit before you tighten it. So I'm sliding the knot down, and then I'm going to pull it kind of tight. If I have any yarn that looks like it's lifting up, I can give it a little tug, boop, and make it nice and flat. And there is my Kumihimo bracelet. We have a couple of quick things we want to do. We want to trim the extra yarn off right here. Snip that. And that way my yarn, oops, I'm sorry, I hit my iPad and it jiggled. So I want to keep the ends fairly even. And then I'm going to show you how to put this on. There's a couple of different ways you could do it. The easiest thing to do is to tie this at the ends. And I don't have anybody here to help me, but somebody could probably help tie it on. And there's my bracelet, which looks pretty snazzy. I love it with the rainbow. That's the easiest way. I just tie it, and that way I can take it off. You could also use a paper clip or a some kind of like a pin to connect it. But that's the easiest way to make these little Kumihimo bracelets. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget, you can save the extra yarn. If you cut the yarn that I gave you in half, you'll have enough for 2 bracelets. And you can use any color combination that you like. All right, everyone, have a great vacation. Hope you enjoyed this little project, and we'll see everyone again back in the art room.